Welcome to Vibes of India. I am Janvi and today is a very special day. Today is the day to celebrate the city of heritage. Today is the day to celebrate the city known for its entrepreneurship. Today is the day to celebrate the city of which owns Sabarmati Ashram and Jama Masjid. Today is Feb 26th and it's Ahmedabad's birthday. We are sitting with people who have lived, worked and loved Ahmedabad. On our panel, we have Senior Art Curator and the founder of Archer Art Gallery, Anil Relia, sir. Welcome to Vibes of India.
Thank you, Janvi.
Then we have founder, editor and CEO of Vibes of India, Deepal Trivedi.
Thank you, Janvi.
Yeah. And next is Aishwarya Jain. She is the founder of I Am Happiness Project and Food Memories. Welcome you all to Vibes of India. And to start with, tell us what is your idea of Ahmedabad? તમે કઈ રીતે જુઓ છો અમદાવાદને?
Yeah. See, as if I see as Ahmedabad is the city of opportunity.
Yeah.
I can consider if you have an hard work and commitment and confidence and your everything about your work and passion, you are going to get success into the city. Because see, Ahmedabad is not only you talk about the small or big town. It is between the thing. You can think of a Delhi or Bombay or so compared to that, Ahmedabad is a city where there is the flavor of the cosmopolitan also and the flavor of even the urban also.
True.
So this is the place. You have everything over there. And apart from not only we talk about the city, but even the heritage. Even the Ahmedabad city is divided into two different parts. The old part has a monument from almost from the last 500 years and here absolutely contemporary new iconic building. So this is absolutely and now the newly made the riverfront is bridge between the both the things. So that is Ahmedabad, that is the opportunity.
Beautiful, beautiful, sir. Tell us what's your idea?
My idea of Ahmedabad, like Anil bhai, હું પણ અમદાવાદની નથી, પણ હવે અમદાવાદ જ મારી
ઓળખાણ છે.
ઓળખાણ છે, અમદાવાદ જ મારી કર્મભૂમિ છે. Right? And so Ahmedabad is more of an emotion to me because I moved at an age when I was really young, a school student rather, a higher secondary school student, and staying from hostel to not having, any possessions of my own, to now, at my own level, being contented and slightly done better in life. I think only Ahmedabad can offer this. It's a package deal.
True, true.
And like a Gujarati thali, which consists of everything, sweet and savory, Ahmedabad offers you everything.
True.
So whenever I go to some place for a few days, vacationing is fine. But what peace I get in Ahmedabad, I don't get it elsewhere.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think beautifully covered by my senior folks. I'm honored being sitting here. For me, Ahmedabad is like a rock star. I would term Ahmedabad to be a rock star or a superstar. So a superstar is what? Someone who sort of slogs in the morning, works entire day, and then comes a night where you party so hard, be it by eating, be it by doing garba, be it by going for a drive, be it by going to a Manik Chowk. I think there's no other city can ever do that.
True.
I think it's a city of freedom where people don't care about just emotionally so vulnerable. Even if you're on street, you'll see a thela where a BM who's having $1 million, and then there's a cycle at the same place at the same time. I mean,
they could enjoy a pani puri together.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of this frigging city. It's nothing less than a rock star city. I believe the way the beauty of culture as well as the magnanimous rock star life matches in, it's rooted as well as there is dynamicity. It's what the beauty of, the beautiful city that we are in.
And it's such a nice thing that all of us are not from Ahmedabad, but we call ourselves Ahmedabad right now.
We are all of us. We are all very proud Ahmedabadis and Paka Ahmedabadis.
Yeah. It's not necessary to be born in Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad has made us Ahmedabadi.
Yes. And sir, just now you also shared your incident that you came to Ahmedabad on a bike and now the city has given you so much. તો તમે જો તમારી જર્ની વિશે થોડીક વાત કરી શકો તો.
It's a long back, 44 years back. I born and brought up in Surat, studied in Baroda MS University, and then that time there was no scope of doing something with the art in the city of Surat. And my parents has a family business, so they wanted me to do a joint business, which I don't want to do. I do want something to do with the art, and I want to do my own graphics, graphic studio. So I came to Ahmedabad, started, taken a small, actually the first I had taken a job in agency, advertising agency as a designer, and started going there. But that hardly worked for 3-4 months or 6 months. But by the time I started doing my own graphics, so that I have done it. I had exhibited in Ahmedabad, I had exhibited in Surat, Bombay, Delhi also, but unfortunately, as if nobody buys the art in those days, who buys the graphic, who buys the print? So we didn't succeed it, we didn't get anything even to have a food and everything. So of course, I've seen the popular demand, because in the same technique we can do a wedding card, greeting card, brochure, folder, stationery. So at least for my bread and butter, I started doing that. Taken some of the commercial assignment and done someone's the wedding card, someone's the invitation card. And that I succeeded. That has come to do. So even after a year, I wanted to do my own thing. So in between, I have taken time, done my own graphic, done a show in Delhi. Again, the same response. So the business coming from me from the commercial aspect, for the commercial work, but I want to do the artistic thing. So there was I struggling between the two things happening. So for again for the bread and butter, I have to go do the commercial work, and I started. In that passion, I have grown up. So came on the cycle, then after 2 years taken a motorcycle, then after 2 years taken a car, then I taken a bungalow, workshop, everything, that all in 20 years the whole thing gone towards the commercial success. And my passion towards the art has on a side. And of course, who don't like the money? So I was also happy with the thing, the kids are growing, the things are happening. And one day the Hussain stepped into my workshop to get his graphics done. He has seen the work I had done for him. He was so happy. He was amazed. What a work you had done. Wonderful. Happily. So when he come to the workshop, on one table I was doing his work, but another 3-4 tables there was someone's wedding card is jumping, someone is invited. So he's laughed at me. He even cried on me. Why you are wasting your talent? ये सब क्यों छाप रहे हो कचरा पट्टी? आप ग्राफिक करो, आप यही करो only. ऐसे बाबा डजन बिकता नहीं है, तो बोलते ही से अरे आज नहीं तो कल बिकेगा. तुम्हारे पास गाड़ी है, बंगला है, बीवी है, बच्चा, अभी और क्या चाहिए? 2 दिन भूखे रहो तो मर थोड़ी जाएगा, लेकिन ये काम करना बंद करो. He forcefully insisted me, and when his work was going on, he became a friend. He became a mentor. So he comes, he stays with us. He says, मेरे साथ ही ग्राफिक स्टूडियो में आते हैं, काम होता है, रात को घर में आके सो जाते हैं, दिन में घूमने जाते हैं, ये होता है.
All that story happened with Hussain in Ahmedabad, right?
Yeah. So it takes me 2-3 years to stop that commercial work. Once I also decided, okay, first of all, I had done whatever my loan with some of the printing machinery or something or the bank, which I fully the thing. I said I don't want to do anything with a tension of the कल उसका installment भरना पड़े ऐसा कुछ नहीं. अपना घर था अपना, I had done everything clear, and then I decided not to do the commercial work and only towards the artwork. So started working with Amit Ambalal, Hakusha, who was from Ahmedabad, Vrindavan Solanki was from Ahmedabad. Then I left toward the Baroda, to the Bhupen Kakkar, then gone to Delhi, Manu Parekh. So one by one artist I added to my portfolio and started working with their, making their graphics and the whole infrastructure. And the thing, by the time even the Hussain has built up this gufa into the 93, 94. And 96 he handed over कि भाई चलो now management there are issues है तो आप you start taking over the management. So 96, 97 I started joining with the thing. Shows were happening. I was also associated with the art scene also. So that thing happening. So I started inviting the different artists like Manjit Bawa, Jogen Chaudhary, Ram Kumar, who all come. They all stay with me and we do the show here in Gufa.
So in like 20 years life changed.
Another 20 years, all the artists who they come to Ahmedabad, they do the show here, they stay with me. So they also become a friend. So this is the whole journey. So first 20 years I earned from the second 20 years I had given back to Ahmedabad. That is what the whole thing is. Because I still remember that when in 95 we opened the first show in Gufa. There were hardly 15 people over there. Today in any opening, there is nothing less than 200-300 people.
Yeah, now with the
and this is
booking
the
and-
whole culture I have seen the thing. Booking
Very
and nothing.
interesting,
Now
yeah.
we have 3 days waiting booking in the
I
gallery.
know we've experienced that, the booking, the waiting for the
So,
booking.
so
It's
I had
such a
seen that
beautiful
whole
place.
market journey, developing
in the
market
city.
in Ahmedabad.
True, true,
Hardly the one painting we could sold. I can't sell one of my single print. I have seen here in 2006 or 7, the show I opened it just with 1 hour after opening, the whole show was sold out.
Wow.
Right.
That also I have seen in Ahmedabad. So
But I
this
think
is
it's
the
because of
development.
your
hub.
seed as well.
Yeah, the
We have
seed
been part
also
of
and the
that seed.
support of the media also. There the
Yeah.
two things has major work into that.
Right.
Yeah.
Very incredible
To bring
journey.
the people to the gallery, that media has worked
Yeah,
a lot
true.
for us.
Yeah. And then tell us that you have grown in the city, but how have you seen the city grow over the years?
So it's a very interesting question, Janvi. And Anil Bhai put it very beautifully.
Yeah.
કે એમણે બી આપણે 20 વર્ષ
લીધું.
પાસેથી લીધું.
Huh.
Right? And I also felt that after a couple of years, having been associated with everything, including whether it was the World This Week, that was earlier with NDTV, or the New York Times, the Chicago Tribune, the Mail on Sunday in London, the Asian Age, I was the editor, the Indian Express, the Times of India. And like I fell in love with the city, and I was always in love with the city. So despite my background was different, I was all set to be a good, obedient civil servant and IAS officer. And I was so disillusioned, and I'm sure if I would have been there in UP right now, maybe the highest post I would have reached is Principal Secretary of Animal Husbandry or something that I really don't have interest in. And the city mesmerized me. After education, I started working for ISRO. They had a unit called DECU.
Okay.
And then journalism happened, and I was so happy doing stories. As you said, you know, even following MF Hussain
Yeah.
was in itself an achievement. And the groundedness you saw of the people here. So I remember I was, you know, someone was there. This is after 25-30 years when I started owning a BMW or whatever. And there was a young girl, and we were sitting with Mr. Gautam Adani.
Okay.
And that person, you know, I was talking of some industrialist, he's saying, "આ તો સ્કૂટર પર ફરે છે." So instantly, Gautam Bhai and I, both of us said the same thing. અમે બી ફરતા હતા. અમારે બી સ્કૂટર હતું. But this city makes you grow.
Yeah.
True.
So this city gave me so much. I grew, and then as he said, I also wanted to give
Give back to
something
the-
back, which was I felt the state of media. I was not happy with the state of media. I thought I will carve a product which is different, which is distinguishable, which is inclusive.
Yeah.
And in a small way, I think we're doing that, Janvi.
Good.
And being the original source of, like our one of our motto line reads that nobody knows Gujarat better. So today, if it's the Wire or the Quint, or we even had the CNN from America or the NBC.
Yeah.
We
Quoting
did
us.
or we doing their
Woohoo.
projects for you know, those recently those 4 people from Gujarat found frozen on the
Yeah.
American Canadian
Yes.
border. So gradually it's a hard journey ahead for us because we are just 6 months old, but people have started trusting us because we are original, we are authentic, we are inclusive. That is one part in Ahmedabad that I have found
Very.
slightly amiss over a period of last few decades.
Okay.
So we wanted to be inclusive. So we have set up this small little company, but with big dreams and great rules.
And impeccable
Like
vibes.
maybe you could say, you could tell some of our, policies.
Policies, yeah. I mean, we have very interesting policies. Like it starts with mental health leave. I mean, mental health is a major issue for not just the young people, but for everyone. And so, we give mental health leave. Second is menstrual leave. Like women have been working around, and I think most organizations should, consider women and like give menstrual leaves as and when needed. There is also another thing that people miss out on is like there is maternity leave, but most men don't get paternity leave. But I think we also have a clause for that. So
it's equal to maternity and paternity leaves.
Leaves.
Equal.
True.
We have a 50% job reservation for women.
Yeah, or men. Like
50%.
50%
is for women, and then as we are very inclusive and equal opportunity employer, we have people with disabilities, with different communities.
Yeah, and
so in Ahmedabad, we are trying to recreate the real Ahmedabad.
True.
The Ahmedabad all of us love.
True. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Anything, Ashwini, you would want to share about your connection with Ahmedabad and how you've grown in the city?
So I've not been there since long. It's been just a journey of around 20 years. But I think the stage where I am in, be it in terms of the way I'm growing or the people who have been supportive, not coming from a family legacy of Ahmedabad at least, but then from certain other city. I think it's the people. I love the culture here, and it's psychologically proven that what actually makes a city attractive are three things. One is the visible life, which are the people who are on the streets, the walking people are on the streets and walking, and I think there's no time, even at 1 o'clock in the night, we'll see people around walking, doing something or the other. It's never a dull season here, ever. Number two is mystery, like the way there's pole on the other side, of the old Ahmedabad, and then there is shillaj kinds where there's farms, there are like vacant spaces, which add a sense of mystery that ye bhi hai or wo bhi hai, which really sort of attracts me. And then the third is the way the mystery takes place here, where you'll see people doing garba the entire night, like till 5 a.m. and you'll see people going for work at 7 a.m. in the morning. I mean, when I came, I was like surprised, how can you slog like that? So I think I've learned to hustle and to even enjoy from this city. I'm from Calcutta, and I can assure you that, again, I'm not shaming that city, I love that city, but then Ahmedabad has grew on me. There it's more of sort of chill. I mean, if you're partying, then you're just partying. But here, literally like party harder and you work harder.
Work hard, party harder.
Yeah, party harder. So that's what as a young entrepreneur, I think that is what really works for me, because it's a blend of keeping your mental balance, where you slog, apna jitna kaam karna hai karo, sham ko jaake chill karo. I think that's the beauty of it. And the second point is, I've always seen the people here, even if you're traveling to the States, or you're traveling to Nathdwara, so you'll see the family together, and they'll not leave their khakra and the theplas. Wherein me being a Marwadi, again not shaming Marwadis, hum still I'll be like, okay, pizza khana hai, okay, I wanna, like if I'm in Italy, I'll be wanting to have some other cuisine. But Gujarati, Ahmedabadis would want to have authentic Gujarati food wherever in the world you are. And the way they are rooted. I think that's a beautiful thing. As Indian, we should learn. So
this reminds me of an ad earlier. Ke Rome ma rasgulla, London ma locho. There was a travel company which used to lure Gujarat.
Exactly.
Rasma Rompuri and Roma Raspuri and Paris ma Patra. That was the Raj Travel slogan. That was the once upon a time, there was a Raj Travel when started, our company. So they used to give, this is the attraction processing, and to be very frankly speaking,
that was the reason.
That, it was, he succeeded also on that.
Exactly my point.
And we love our food wherever we go. Or we would Gujaratiize all our food,
True.
I think everybody in India should sort of learn that कि अपने culture को कैसे maintain करें. आप कहीं भी जाओ India में, whatever part of the world you are, I think we'll be a stronger community which can really be learned from our city.
Very true.
And work harder Work hard and party,
Party
harder.
harder, yeah.
That's
I
the
think these
motto
are the
of
two
the city.
biggest takeaways I've learned till the age of 27.
All of us love Ahmedabad so much, but do you think there is any aspect of it or anything which is still amiss in Ahmedabad? Anything you would want to point out?
Yeah, I say that. See, if I talk of an Ahmedabad, Ahmedabad art scene, in Ahmedabad there is 33 museums. How many
Whoa,
Ahmedabadi has
33?
seen that? How many Ahmedabadi has seen that? There's a museum of utensils, museum of cars, museum of
Very interesting.
different, like even a
Lock
folk
and key
museum, the
and-
lock and key. Even you see,
Indigo
our
museum.
Vidyapit only has a 3 to 4 museum within the campus. So there were 33 museums in Ahmedabad. How many have seen? Apart from that, see, my complaint is that not about the person who has not seen, but now we must start with a new generation.
Yeah.
The
Very
school
true.
must start.
Schools must
The
have.
school, children, the family, the parents must take them at least a week, because normally all the museums in Ahmedabad remain closed on Monday. So Sunday it's open. So Saturday, Sunday, even the parents can take them to the different museum, even at least once a year. There will be a big help to the museum and big help to bring aesthetic to their homes. Because the students who grown up with this, looking at the museum, working at seeing the thing, even the school take them to the museum. That will really enhance the thing. When we go to the abroad in any museum you go, you see at least 1 or 2 school classes there sitting on any painting. The ma'am is discussing with them. The children are copying something, learning something. What that? So why not in Ahmedabad? Why not in that? And like a Calico Museum, we have the world's best collection of textiles. The LD Museum, one of the best manuscripts we have, the 15th and 14th century manuscript we have here in the thing. So those are the treasures of our life. So that is
Very
my
important.
complaint about the Ahmedabad, and I always insist that whoever has taken the thing, even whenever I do my exhibition from my collection, there are 2-3 schools who support very well. So I always send them a message, and teachers come with the students, and as normally GOFA timings are 4 to 8. For them, I open at 1:32 because their school ends by 1. After that, they say, okay, our students will come and you will have to give them a guided tour. So I give them thing. And I have seen the best questions come from the
From the
students.
students, we even observed that,
So there is a possibility,
There's a spark.
only we have to support
explore
them.
that, true.
So this is what my message
Very
from
valid
Ahmedabad.
point.
Yeah.
And I think we'll collectively work on that.
Definitely, we should and we must. And I agree to his point, I would have made that point if he wouldn't have. But now that is made one, what I find lacking in Ahmedabad is a good civic sense.
Okay.
I would want a better civic sense.
Yeah.
And when I say civic sense, I'm not trying to point out at people who don't have enough, to follow the civic sense. I think the onus is on us.
Yeah.
I live in an area where I see people taking their Great Danes and all their fancy dogs out for walk. Never I see them carrying a poop bag. So I think lack of civic sense is not just rickshawalas driving here and there.
Yeah.
In fact, I find beauty in that chaos.
Yes.
But this sort of lack of civic sense, especially among the well-off and the educated people, bothers me a bit. I think we should be slightly more sensible
True.
about others. There could be a senior citizen or there could be anyone else who wants to walk. They don't want to walk through your pet's shit.
Yep. I don't dislike, I genuinely don't dislike anything about the city. I just hope that we are in an evolving stage as a city, and we have the sense of authenticity. As a city, we have that, which sort of Bombay has already crossed and Delhi has crossed, and we are in a stage to reach there because of the entire growth in the economic spectrum, the growth in the business entrepreneurship and more. I just hope इस journey में हम वो जो अपना roots और authenticity है ना वो ना खो दे. I just fear that because as soon as exactly अपनापन, like you mentioned, it's an emotion. Like the way you mentioned that we have grown through a certain spectrum. So if that sort of goes away, we'll be one of those metros, which is there in India, like one of those metros which I don't really want, because the way the traffics have been increasing, the way the entire expansion of roads, the civic standard has been deteriorating. It's time that right now at least we can sort of get hold of it.
True.
We all as a citizen, and take care of the beauty that we already have. So yeah.
And plus, as Anil Bhai talked about the younger generation, I think we need to promote this idea of an inclusive Ahmedabad.
True.
So we don't want, like, we've all grown up and we've been in Ahmedabad, and now you see an entire generation in Ahmedabad who think it's very classy or a very status symbol to ask, ke 50 etle su. Right? This is the Gujarati culture that is seeping in. I think we need to safeguard our literature, our art, our heritage. Like the young people who don't know about, the wonderful pore, or how there has been a beautiful amalgamation of Indo-Sasanic architecture in our poles.
True.
So that culture is
to appreciate our own thing is not there. And Aishwarya, tell me that as a well-travelled working millennial, how do you see when Ahmedabadis or people here have resistance towards people who eat non-vegetarian food, or have the treatment to minorities or something like liquor ban? How do you see that as a youngster?
I think people who are outside the city, obviously the first will be like, oh my god, there's no booze in the city. The first question is that. But as soon as we talk, the way sort of I then deal with them, because even if I'm in Ahmedabad, because of the people we are closely connected to, and because we are so culturally educated, as a human being who stays in this particular city, as simple as if you come to Sept, okay, we'll see a person from maybe Europe as well as maybe someone from Ludhiana. And that's rare. NID maybe, you'll see people from Patna or maybe from Paris, IIM, whatever. Any of these education institutes where as a millennial that comes along, then they understand that just having a social club or just having a booze scene official would not really matter, because from our mindset, we are far ahead of them. Just by having a social culture would not sort of make them feel that we are any less. That is again because of the entire culture of inclusiveness, like ma'am mentioned, that we sort of bring in the city because of the architecture. Because again, I truly believe that neuro-architecture attracts set of people, in a way it does. So be it the education institutes, be it the power of businesses here, be it the capital that the city has.
I think that it's okay to not...
Yeah, and I think half of the people in Ahmedabad mostly stays out of Gujarat too, out of India rather. So they come from the states ka wo pura, they come the education of states, and wo inclusiveness aa hi jata hai.
Okay.
So I feel that. But obviously we are shamed to a certain extent ki yaar wahan daru nahi hai, karenge kya? But I think we party more than them, be it with daru or be it without daru. We are high on jalebi, fafras and garbas. And then they get the groove again.
Yeah. What do you both have to say about non-veg?
You asked about
non-vegetarian
food.
About liquor.
I don't, though I'm from media, I would say it's much more of a media frenzy. Because Ahmedabad, the Patiyar Gully and all, there are, such old places which has some amazing non-vegetarian food. Though I happen to be a vegetarian.
In lots of places, even in the circuit, there you see there are lots
and
of
I've heard of people, like my Hindu friends now doing a tourist circuit via Juhapura for very good non-vegetarian food.
Okay.
So, the non-vegetarian food is...
Yeah, you don't think that's an issue?
Ahmedabad does not lack it.
Not an issue.
It's not an issue at all. Second part was booze?
Yeah.
Okay.
Government has made an arrangement to get an health permit.
If you are above 40, and now there is Gift City. And in fact, if this would be this would be news for outsiders. But if there is a referendum done on Ahmedabadis, I think most of the people here would want a prohibition policy at least.
Okay.
To ensure that Ahmedabad remains what it is.
Yeah.
Because we feel
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
Ahmedabad is considered to be very safe for
Absolutely.
females.
Yeah, because at the midnight, at
Yeah.
any time, anybody
So
can
we don't
walk in
have
alone.
anyone, you know,
That is
drunkards
drunkards we don't
walking,
have on the road.
or any notorious elements,
Yeah.
you know, partying on the road and getting drunk and eve teasing. We've all, like I've done night duties and come at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
from Kalupur or Juhapura. Ahmedabad is absolutely
Absolutely
safe.
True.
True.
So, and was there any two things, right?
Yeah.
Booze and food.
Booze and food, yeah. And I
Yeah,
think
so
there's
I'm
no
very
issue
okay
with
with both of this.
this.
In fact, I would not be for much of fusion food. I'm
No
anti
cheese.
fusion food, which is so much in. I like the authentic Ahmedabadi Gujarati
Gujarati
food.
food. Interesting, yeah.
And also, I think the entire spectrum where plant meat, non-veg perspective,
Yeah.
plant meat is trending.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about metros, because the shaming happens majorly in the Delhis and the Bombays. So I think the most funded companies or the startups, and even the Gen Z category of people who are staying in Delhi and Bombay, are going towards ketos and vegan and plant diets. So they now think, oh my God, they are cooler now.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
things have
it's
really sort of evolved.
Especially, I think it's very cool to be a vegetarian or a vegan.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. And if you have to associate Ahmedabad with any one place, like it can be a very personal reason for each of you. Like I can be in love with say Sindhu Bhavan, which is like a newer territory for Ahmedabad. So is there any place that is very personally, so you have a story related to that place?
I have a story related
With
to
this
this
place,
only.
yeah.
See, basically, I am a poster for this story because it was not
Tamari
conceived
jagah.
or born by me. But after the born of 2 years of time, I have taken off because there was lots of issues of the financial and
Yes.
funding and even the administrative so Hussain has taken over, given up to me. Now you take over the thing. Otherwise, he wanted to close the thing and break the thing. So that was a big thing. So I said, okay, you don't give any money. I'll try to make it up. And then I made the thing self-sufficient. First
And now it's become a mark of
now it's
something,
become,
right?
I have a corpus, another 50 years it can run.
Wow.
So I created
Oh my
that thing
God.
also.
That's
So that is what
commendable.
I had done it here to this place. So this is absolutely a reborn. Even when the Gufa was made earlier, it was inside, if you see, there was a cutout, some of the things, and the one line, the parallel line which Hussain has divided to the section. Many times I have seen the thing, many tourist visit comes to the city, they come, they see the thing, and then when they see this marble structure, they say, Hussain is Sukar, because Hussain means the painting,
Yeah.
and they don't see the painting. So they say painting. Then I convinced Hussain,
Right.
Baba, we must do something with the painting, and he agreed also in 2002, then he came, we had seen the thing, he has seen
And
the
then-
scale, everything. Then it was, because that time Hussain was almost to 80, 85. So it was difficult for him to climb on the scaffolding and do something. So he said, "Kaam karo, ek bada model bana." So I made, my daughter was studying in fine art. So she had made a 10 feet of model of inside of a gufa. Hussain has done that, a fiberglass, and Hussain has done painting on that. Pull up the thing, everything, scale the thing. Then he came here. We had taken a photograph, projected on the wall. We have seen the thing, how it looks. And then
it
we
was-
called the CN students and the artists and somebody, and they started painting. Hussain comes in between. Every 10 days he comes to Ahmedabad, look at the thing, do some correction. Nahi, ye color badal do, ye kar do. And ultimately in 2004, we reopened the gufa with the painting inside,
Wow.
and the whole thing has done the thing. Even when I taken over the charge, the gufa was having a ticket entry fee, 10 rupees, 15 rupees. I said, in Ahmedabad, who pay for the ticket? इतना बड़ा बड़ा म्यूजियम फ्री में दिखाते हैं, they give the cup of tea सामने से पिलाते हैं, फिर भी लोग नहीं आते, तो who comes the thing? And that was the thing, जो टिकट वाले को जो हम लोग 300-400 रुपए का सैलरी देता था, उतना पैसा भी तो कलेक्शन में नहीं आता टिकट. So I said, first of all, I stopped the thing, and then I thought idea of making a gallery, idea of making of a cafe, and that has stayed the whole thing alive, and making the program,
Amazing.
everything. I still remember that some newspaper had used to have a children competition. You see the morning, you see the campus like a 500 बच्चे यहाँ
We
घूम
also
रहे
got them, you know, to come
तो
and
लेके
sit
दौड़
here
रहे
and-
पेंटिंग के यहाँ बैठा वहाँ बैठा आधे अंदर बैठो. What a wonderful sight it was. So this is all thing has made the Gufa live. Invited the people, do the show and think.
This
So
is a
this is the
legacy,
thing.
sir.
This
This
is
is
a
a
legacy.
legacy.
And finally the
True
Dosis have also got this award and everything. So this
yeah,
is not
beautiful,
that thing.
beautiful.
This is what
Very
I say
interesting.
about it.
Yeah.
This is a landmark. Gufa is
Yeah,
a landmark
yeah,
in
landmark,
Ahmedabad.
absolutely.
Okay, I have like Mr. Relia, I'm yet to create any legacies or
We are
landmarks.
work in progress.
We are work in progress, but my fondest memories are
place.
would be my school, that's NID.
Okay, yeah.
It would be the Nehru Bridge corner, which used to have those quaint little bridge, you know, a cafe,
Coffee bar.
coffee bar,
Yeah.
bridge
Wonderful.
corner,
That's
the
wonderful.
Irani cafe. That I still, you know that, I always order my maska bun from the Irani cafe, which is so authentic. I like every part of Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
I'm not much into, like I've not really explored and I'm not a millennial. So,
Age doesn't matter. But heart you are.
but I love everything. I love the Dharani Pod to those fancy rooftop restaurants
Yeah, yeah.
in Sindhu Bhavan.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a big journey and it encompasses all aspects of your life.
True.
Like our kids come and they love the food on Sindhu Bhavan. At the same time, they want to go to the old city to look at the architecture, to taste some, you know, Masini Puri, Pani Puri.
Yeah. That's it.
So it's a big amalgamation of the old and
Old
new,
and new city.
that endears me
Yeah.
to this city.
Absolutely. I would have multiple stories, but I think I would request people to really sort of visit the gift city that's coming up in Gujarat, which is really economic perspective, really driven by that. The upcoming side of Ahmedabad, that is the entire Sindhu Bhavan belt,
Yeah.
which is of
base.
course mix of, you know, the Cosmo crowd as well as the corporate culture that is sort of building up. And if we want to talk about just history and something where, you know, Sir and Ma'am has sort of building the legacy around, would be around the Ahmedabad Gufa and the MG houses and all of that.
Yeah.
If you talk about education institutes, again, the way architecture has been built up here, the SEPs, the NIDs and IMs and more, I think AMA is one of the places I really adore.
Yeah.
Where I don't think in India there's another education institute where people from all lengths of life come down to study from course which is free as well as costing some few thousands of rupees. I think AMA is one of the remarkable institutions being built by the entire like the Sarabhais. So I think the Natranis, again, you know, the way the culture of dance
Art
comes
and
in.
culture.
So I think there are a lot of stories in different places and it's beautiful.
True.
From plunging to, like you mentioned, old and
New, like coming together.
So it's business here, hard rock business where there are corporates and then the capital moving around, and then comes the dance and the art culture, and then comes the third spectrum where it's all just about bringing food and, you know, the entire vibe of partying and chilling. So these three
All the,
beautiful
you know,
places.
different aspects of a
Yeah.
complete
Yeah,
life.
complete life.
You
is
get it
absolutely.
here.
Also, the best part about the city would be, even if you're not earning that much, anyone who's sort of coming to the city,
Very affordable
If you want to enjoy it, there was a lot. Every
the lifestyle
class
can
has
be
a
maintained.
thing.
Yeah.
Of course.
And even the
yeah.
festivals, if you
Yeah.
look at the Navratri, if you look at the Kite Festival, look at
Yeah.
they all have their
all.
own flavor.
Yes.
Lastly, as it is Ahmedabad's birthday, if you have to wish Ahmedabad, how would you do it in your own style? Anyone wish for Ahmedabad?
I would be like, hello.
See, I did remember that when the Ahmedabad birthday, on earlier birthday, that might be of a 2014 or something. So might be that was, I think, Ahmedabad the 606th birthday.
Okay.
So 5 years before, right? Because today is
Yeah.
the 2000 611th birthday,
611th
right? Yeah.
birthday.
So that is 5 years before. that day I have one creative thing because I have a graphic studio, there are lots of work. So I invited 33 artists from Ahmedabad and do something on Ahmedabad.
Okay.
Wow.
And nothing of any restricted, they can think 600 years back also and they can go
Ahead
600 years ahead also. They can think and imagine also. And you believe that the whole set of graphics still I have in gallery, they all had differently
Idea of
thought and brilliantly done. The simple thing, the one girl has done a cup of tea and reflecting the inside the Sidi Sayyid Mosque. Okay?
Wow.
So he want to show the lucky,
Yeah, lucky
the
chai,
lucky
yeah.
restaurant
Lucky chai.
and the reflection of the jali
Sidi
into the
Sayyid.
teapot.
Wow.
Wow.
So the
So
way they
thoughtful.
presented the
Right.
whole thing, there was a different, like one of the has done it from the on the base of a Gandhi ashram. So the very beautifully created the whole thing. Like Amit Ambala, very renowned. He thought of a very differently thing. He had put a simple the old fort the આપણા કોટના કિલ્લાના કાંગરા છે ને ઉપર પેપરની ટોચમાં કાંગરા બનાવ્યા અને પછી થોડાક આવીને મારે ઓફિસમાં એને પાર્લેના બિસ્કિટ ગજવામાંથી કાઢે આમ બધા આમ નાખ્યા ને પછી મને કે અહીંયા આગળ આવી રીતે બિસ્કિટ છાપી દઈએ આપણે એમ કહે કે પણ એમ કહે કે ગોલ્ડમાં છાપવાના I said ઓકે તમે છાપ્યા અને પછી એમણે બે ચાર કૂતરા દોડ્યા બતાવ્યા હા I said શું છે મને કે સી ધ થિંગ્સ આર લાઈક ઇટ્સ અ સ્ટોરી એમ કે મને કે શું મેં કહું અમદાવાદમાં શું થાય છે એમ કે પહેલાં એમ કે હું એમ કે ઘરે રાતે કંઈક વધ્યું હોય તો હું ઘરમાં એમ કે જવામાં એમ કે રોટલો કંઈ લઈને જાઉં સવારે ચાલવા જાઉં તો કોઈ કૂતરું હોય તો આપણે એને આપીએ ખવડાવીએ એવી ભાવનાથી બિકોઝ ધ જૈન ફેમિલી એન્ડ ધ વૈષ્ણવ ફેમિલી એટ દેટ ફેમિલી કે ગાય અને કૂતરાને ખવડાવવાનું લઈને જાઉં તો પહેલાં તો ખાઈ જ જતા હતા હવે એમ કે આપણે રોટલી મૂકીએ ને તમે સૂંઘીને જતા રહે
એને બિસ્કિટ જોઈએ છે
કારણ કે હવે લોકો આવીને બિસ્કિટના પેકેટ આપે છે એમ કે they don't need the
Lifestyle update થઈ ગયું છે.
What thoughts?
તો he had taken the parle બિસ્કિટ અને કૂતરાઓ દોડતા બતાવ્યા અને
idea of
એમનો ખાલી આમ પગનો આમ લેંગો હોય ને છેલ્લો જરા દેખાય અંદર બસ કે that's what he is doing હવે see the way he has presented the whole idea there are all the artists have thought of some of them are the old the meal which now become a scrap તો એની અંદર કરીને પછી એક આમ અંદર હવેલી બનાવી અને એક ગોલ્ડન બનાવી તો થિંગ ઇઝ ધેટ કે but the scrap has become the thing but the haveli where the Sethia was staying, they were enjoying the whole thing. So that he made it like golden. It is a satire on that. But he thought in that tenor. So all the 33 artists had shown the Ahmedabad. Even one has shown the Patang Hotel, and that he himself is a Patang. એટલે પોતે આર્ટિસ્ટ પતંગ છે તો પતંગની હોટલની બી ઉપર છે એટલે ઉપરથી પતંગ હોટલને જોઈ છે અને બીજા આજુબાજુ બે ચાર પતંગ ઉડી રહ્યા છે the way they imagine the thing so what a wonderful project so I was thinking if another I want to take the because that the gap of 5 years I must take the another
That's your
project
idea
on.
of wishing Ahmedabad a happy
Looking at
birthday.
Ahmedabad and that is visually not a single word is written of course we have done a catalog to go to the people to understand the thing. So with a small paragraph what he has thought because everybody can't maybe confusing but that we had published that time. But this is the kind of thing. So my other thought is maybe another more some contemporary artist to take them and do a project like that and present it on the day of this.
Wishing Ahmedabad in artistic style.
Artistic style, yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Interesting.
Wonderful.
Yeah. If you want to share anything about
I would
it.
manifest. So right now in the country, we are at number 3 when it comes to startups and the growth. So I today want to sort of manifest that as entrepreneurs and as sort of leaders, which is filled in our city, I would really sort of manifest कि हम number 1 में पहुंच जाएं
Yeah.
तुरंत because we have that sort of
Potential.
Yeah.
and we just two sort of ranks below.
Yeah.
So we totally can sort of do it. So I'm manifesting that at this moment in the Ahmedabad's birthday.
That's good.
Excellent. I think Mr. Relia and Aishwarya,
They've
both of them have put it very succinctly. And I would just want to wish that Ahmedabad remains what it is.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Just
That is the thing.
Just be.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Between the metro and the urban.
Yeah. We want to mix
That's
up
the
both.
beauty of the thing.
We
Yeah.
just want to
we have a peace also and we have a hurdles also. But that is we are
rockstar the way
enjoying.
you are.
Yeah. In Bombay you only find the hurdles.
Yeah.
We
Here
have
we
a
have both.
everything. We have a both.
Yeah, just
So we
hustle.
must rather think.
Thank you so much, all three of you, for sharing your side of the story and sharing your idea of Ahmedabad. Well, for more such interviews, for more such interactions, keep watching Vibes of India. And yes, happy birthday, Ahmedabad.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Ahmedabad.
birthday, Amna.
Thank you.